our purple, or I mean our silver cream. Take that silver cream. Crazy. Don't start with the silver. Start with your control adhesive. And turn. Line that control adhesive right along that the eyelash, and have it kind of cat eye off the side here. There we go. Using your paper. This paper really can be your kind of savior here, especially as you're learning how to do this. And remember, we're just tapping. You can always apply more if you lose any. Just tapping. Also, I highly encourage you when you're done to make sure you put your lids back on. Just because accidents happen, especially when you don't want them to be, obviously. So, just to be prepared. Good. So we have our first layer there with our purple. Put that purple back on. Then we're going to move to next set, which is our silver cream. So start with that silver cream the next round here. Put a nice couple of layers on. So we'll start with one that goes out nicely. Kind of overlaps that purple. Make sure that the purple is nice and pretty. Good lines. Goes from the inside all the way up and through, covering that whole lid. Again, making sure that we get right into the crease in this middle. That way it really makes that silver pop. Give it a second to set up there. Give it another layer. There we go. And before it dries, go ahead and pull out that silver glitter, blues, and down. Start really filling it in. I always recommend that as you're doing this, that you make sure that you first put your uniform on before anything, and then wear something over top of this while you're getting it set up. That way you're not spilling any makeup on your uniform or anything along those lines. Also, doing your hair before is always helpful. Partially because it's you got to put your uniform on first to put your hair up, and then it's already on and you got to cover it up. So it's just a nice, good sense of steps there. Good. Making sure we're dusting off those eyelashes. Give it a little blow to see if there's anything else on there. Then we're going to apply that liner. This is the same liner that I use, by the way. It's Perfect Point Plus, and it's a CoverGirl brand. I use it. I think it works really well. It goes on really smooth and quickly, so you're not fussing with it. Adding that liner, making sure you're getting right along the eyelash line. You don't want to kind of be raccooned there where there's a space between the eyelash and then where the glitter goes, and or where the color goes, because it'll be weird to have that little white spot right there. Okay, go ahead and open. Touch up any sides that you need to. There we go. Good, and we'll add the mascara. So the whole idea with doing doing the makeup the same is so that we do have that sense of uniformity. So obviously with the makeup, we want you to try to get as close to this tutorial as possible, and making sure that we stay as uniform as possible. Go ahead and up. Second, we'll put the second layer on. There we go. Alrighty. And then we're going to go ahead and move on to the lipstick. I do recommend a blush, just something that works well with your skin tone that will pop. If I gave you all the same exact skin or colored blush, then some skin types it wouldn't work, some types it would. So wear something that's going to pull out your cheeks a little bit. I always encourage it with my athletes to make sure that they have good show makeup. That good show makeup is going to show, especially as a flyer, especially anyone who predominantly doesn't wear makeup normally, things like that. Make sure that you really give them something that they'll help them pop. And then with the lips, this is a color stay lip. So basically the way this is going to work is that I do recommend, right now it's chopstick season, give them a little chapstick before they put this on. Make sure, actually, and if you want to put the chapstick on before you start the makeup so that it has time to kind of work, that works best. Once you put this on, it stays there, so be careful as you're doing it. I wouldn't suggest going directly to the line first. I suggest kind of filling in and then working your way outside. So what I mean by that is, go ahead and set in here. So I'm going to start kind of in the middle and then work my way to the outside and down so that I'm following these lines, and then I can kind of fill in those lines as I go. So as we go down here, beautiful. And again, making sure you're filling from the inside out. And then also remember that when you're doing this too, that you it will start to dry out just a little bit, so you'll put a little bit of chapstick on the outside. The difference is that the color is meant to be the full color, so don't try to wash it out or make it a different color because you don't like it necessarily. The fact of the matter is everyone has to be really uniform, so we'll make them. Also, if we get into the practice room and I see that you don't have the makeup on the way that I want you to have it on, I will just put it on you in the practice room. So be prepared to do it the way that it's supposed to be done, in the color that it's supposed to be done in, so that it can be in there done nicely. And don't rub it together, just go ahead and pat your lips together like this. Just like this to make sure it gets all the way. Don't rub your lips together. The problem is, especially until it's dry, if you rub your lips together, a lot of times you'll get that line across the top, and then it'll stay there for the rest of the competition. So from there, let it dry just a little bit. Go ahead and you put your mouth together. There. Let it dry just a little bit, and then you can use a chapstick for the top of it. So one of the ones that I like is a Burt's Bees chapstick. This one has just a tiny bit of a tint, but you can't really tell anyway. So if you start in that one, let it dry again, and then make sure that you put just a tiny bit in this on, and it'll keep it nice and clean. And then it'll keep it from smearing around too much. All right, there you go. That's your makeup.